All right, so been doing a bit of scraping of the paint up here on the top side. So I got the random orbiter hooked up to the shop vac. So I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on the hull, because that'll enable me to get a better gauge on what exactly I'm working on with the planking. So I know why the planks below the waterline are in such good condition. There's remnants of red lead primer on there. A lot of people like to say red lead primer is a horrible thing and it doesn't actually work. It does work, and there's a reason why people have been using it for centuries. So the topside planks are far worse for wear than the under the waterline, thanks to this. See that nice orange, red lead. Parts of the garvert, especially around butt joints, like right here where that copper patch was, are totally shot. But if you get back to like right here where our frame is, look at that wood is nice. We got a little bit of splitting out right here on this plank, the third broad strake plank, but on up, I mean, it's looking pretty good. We got some wood blowout from popping the screws out because they were epoxied in. I think our planking's mostly good. So I'm gonna make up a template for tracing out on those pieces of fir that I milled down. I'll mill down some more of those too, and then we'll make a bunch of little biscuits after we get these bungs out and drive out the remnants of the old iron screws. And I just want to sand the keel a little bit and just see. It's grayish black, like it's iron sick, but even the area that was under that copper patch, that's solid freaking wood right there. It's discolored, but it's solid. So I'm going to be operating under the assumption that the keel is good to go. We will find that out more on that when I drop the ballast keel. All right. Fasteners are coming out. Got a few left. I'm going to try to drive them out from this side because the heads are still somewhat intact. Man, these rusty ass fasteners suck. What do you expect? Oh, I expect it. I'm just lamenting that they suck.
You want?
I don't expect anything less. Yeah, the worst part of it is the fasteners are just so, they're so corroded that they've expanded to like 3 times their original size. Alright guys, so here's the remains of 4 of those original steel fasteners. So I guess they were screws. Probably about the same size as these stainless ones I put in the 80s. This is what these were, except galvanized steel, not stainless, originally. Don't use steel in your wooden boat. So I'm thinking about getting this frame, or floor out. And to get the router in here to cut out the wood to those biscuit fillet type things in there, I'm going to need this whole frame bay. And honestly, since we have one right here, literally 3 or 4 inches away, it's not going to compromise much structural integrity, but that's for later. Get the old fasteners out of this frame bay, and yeah. Alright guys, it is Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, 2024, which for you non-Americans would be May 26th. Anyway, I've got my little boiler set up, got the line hooked up to the steam port and the aft end of the steam box. Cap on here. So we're gonna fire this boiler up, which there's no switch or anything, I just gotta plug her in. Boom. And so, this is our test piece right here. It's kind of like a junky looking piece of oak offcut from making the frames. It's got a bunch of knots in it. Not really suitable for much. But we're gonna load that in here. Starts boiling, I'll set a stopwatch timer. We'll see how long it takes for that thing to get pliable enough to be to a point where if it were a frame we'd be able to bend it in. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag up the bandsaw and the thickness planer, a bunch of that those fir cutoffs I'm going to use for filler pieces on here. Just got to drag all that stuff up and we'll get started. Alright, it's boiling. Don't see any leaks yet. Oh, we got steam. Alright, awesome. Let's start a timer. Alright, so just going to do some more planing of this fir that I'm going to use for little biscuits to repair the planks. Kind of rigged up a redneck dust collecting system. Rubber banded a pillowcase onto here so I can just collect the dust and dump it into the trash can and then go dump it in the woods somewhere. But anyway, that frame's been in there about an hour. I'm gonna pull that and try to bend it and see what happens.
So even if we can't get the big one,
Yeah. About an hour. It's definitely taking a bend. Obviously there's voids in it. Well, there are voids in the wood. That's why I selected this piece. Let's see. Yeah, I think with a better piece of wood, bent in more controlled conditions, it'll work fine. You can see how pliable it is, though.
it doesn't seem like it. It feels like it's like bone drying something.
Feels wet.
It seems like you should leave it in to get more moist than it is.
How far in is that batten in there?
Huh?
You have that thin piece.
The batten's not a gauge of this.
I know, but you can, with a more saturated piece of wood, I'm interested to see the difference.
I don't know if this is success or a failure.
It's a breakfast.
Oh yeah, look how pliable that
There
is.
we go. That's nice. I think that you should have put this. That's beautiful. It's fully saturated. You can see all the moisture. Isn't that cool?
I've never seen a wood pen like that without breaking.
Yeah. It's because it's just so saturated.
Heat it up.
Oh, can I try bending it?
There you go.
Well, did eventually break, but that was a weak point anyway. Yeah, but like,
A weak point, and also you only have like a minute or so before it starts to dry out. Become less pliable, right?
Look at this bed.
alright, so I guess we'll put these guys back in and see if we can get those to take more of a bend.
It would really suck if you went to do that.
Well, that's why I'm doing a test run first.
Yeah, this turned out awesome.
And this is actually,
cool.
this, yeah.
Can I try?
Well, it's already,
It's already done. You have to do it fast.
alright, anyway. We let that steam for another hour or so. Get the idea. So this is the aftermath of our test run with the steam box with that little Rockler wallpaper steamer boiler setup. So admittedly, this was a crap piece of stock, which is, you know, why I selected it, because I have limited white oak stock. You can see it's splintered, and I noticed after it's splintered, I looked at the moisture in the center of the thing, and after an hour steaming, the moisture had not permeated to the core of the piece. And now this is only a fraction of our total girth of the actual framing pieces that we're going to be putting in the boat. So if after an hour that little steam generator can't put enough moisture into this wood at a thinner dimension, we're going to have problems bending in frames. So I did a little research this morning. Saw a video by Lou of Tips from a Shipwright, and he was using round, flat-bottom, galvanized steel gas jerry cans to make steam for steam bending. Now, in that video, he was bending like a deck component for some boat he was restoring. But in my case, I think it's going to work really well. He had one of those big turkey fryer burners, just like the one I have. So I'm going to go get one of those jerry cans. I figure we can use some of the old tubing that I pulled out of the boat. But so what I'll do is I will keep the inlet on the aft end of the steam box for that little steamer, and then maybe 2/3, 3/4 of the way up the steam box, come in on the side with another steam inlet so we can just get more powerful, heavy steam coming in there. We'll have the steam coming in from the back. And I think the combination of those two boilers will give us the steam, heat, pressure, and workability to actually get the frames done. I could always wrap this in insulation and then sheathe over the top of it just to retain more heat. But I think this steam box is going to be workable. Our new boiler, 5-gallon steel gas can. So I just got to cut this pin here and get all this hardware off, and then I can probably just slide a hose down over. Got to measure it out, but I think this old exhaust tubing from inside the boat will work. All right, I'm going to cut a hunk of this 1/2-inch plywood to use as templates. I actually took some measurements inside the boat. So what I'm going to do is for these little biscuits, they're going to be, or lozenges as they call them in that article in Wooden Boat Magazine, they're going to be 1 3/4 wide by 5 inches long. So and I think I'm going to do some 1x3s as well. Like a half circle radius. Take our French curve here. Well, it ain't perfect, but it's good enough. So, for this stuff, I think this is a bit longer of a piece, and I think I'd rather just save this for scarfing. Yeah, it's a little over 16. So I'd rather save that for scarfing over butt joints, so I'll put that one aside. So this is going to be both the router guide and the template. I think first of all, what I'm going to do is trim this down to its proper size. you guys get the idea on this. I'm going to do the rest, and I'll catch you when I get the bandsaw set up to cut them out. So we have 4, 8, 12, 15, 20, 4, 8. 28 of these things in total. So I'm going to bring the bandsaw up to the deck because it produces a lot of smoke. And then I'm going to change this GoPro battery because it's almost dead. And I will see you when I'm set up upstairs. Alright. There's one. Oh, this has a hole. But anyway, you get the gist. I got more of these to cut out. Catch you later. Alright, last one. Got a bucket of these. We have to get those sanded, and we got a bucket of waste. Awesome. Alright, just went to Harbor Freight. I got this thing, combination belt and disc sander. So we're gonna sand some of these lozenges. This is a belt cleaning bar. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. Bucket O plank filling lozenges, all fabricated and ready to go. Alright guys, got in a package from, it says Total Boat, but it's actually from Jamestown Distributors, which is like their Total Boat's local distributor, as well as general boat building and restoration equipment and supplies and chandlery and all that good stuff. So, let's see what we got. So, we have 2 tubes of Sikaflex 291 black for bedding. So this stuff is like $12 and change a tube, whereas a quart of that Dolphinite stuff is like $80. So I've seen enough people restoring wooden boats use this stuff to good effect, so I'm not going to bother with the Dolphinite. I'm just going to use Sika. And we also got something that's going to be critical to installing those lozenges, and that is colloidal silica epoxy thickener. Nice. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That's it for this week. But anyway, just wanted to say that the Patreon page is live now, so if you want to support the project, that's your way to do it. Please don't feel obligated to do so. It's totally optional, and it won't affect any of the content I put on YouTube, but every little penny helps on an expensive, all-encompassing project like this. And with that, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like, share, all that good stuff. It really helps in the algorithm. And with that, thanks for watching. See you next week.